Hello, everyone watching. Welcome to our ECE Student Org virtual showcase. My name is Chelsea Largoza. I'm the Student Special Events and Outreach Coordinator here at the ECE department. We wish we were all meeting you at Triton Day in person, and unfortunately that's not possible right now. So we hope that this will be a good alternative until we can all come together again on campus. Today we have 5 student orgs here to talk to you about what they do and the community that they create throughout the year, and some of the events that they'll be doing virtually throughout the quarter and the summer until we hopefully come back to campus in the fall. In addition to our student org representatives, we also have Professor Trong Nguyen, who is the faculty head of our outreach efforts, as well as members of our student affairs team, our undergraduate advisors, and our director of student affairs, who will also be able to answer any questions that you might have at the end. So let's move on to our student orgs. Our first student org is our undergraduate student council.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Hey, my name is Po, like the Dragon Warrior from Kung Fu Panda, and I'm a third-year electrical engineering student from Eleanor Roosevelt College, and I'm now serving as ECE Undergraduate Student Council's president this year.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shivani. I'm a fourth-year electrical engineering major from 6th College, and I'm VP External for ECE USC.
Okay, so ECE Undergraduate Student Council is a mouthful, so I'm going to refer to us as ECE USC from this point forward. However, just to clarify, we're not associated with University of Southern California. I personally think UCSC is better, so yeah, let's get started. ECE USC is an organization that strives to hear your thoughts and be your voice during your time here at UC San Diego. We communicate what you want from the ECE department and what the department wants for you. We plan about 70 large and small scale events each school year with the goal to help enrich your ECE experience at UC San Diego and also create a positive community within the ECE department. One of the programs I really want to emphasize is our mentorship program. We want to provide guidance for you on enjoying your college experience, as well as taking advantage of many great opportunities UC San Diego has to offer. We pair up lowerclassmen with upperclassmen who were once in their shoes, so that they can learn from each other's experiences and grow with each other. Some of the contents that we cover include introducing campus resources, resume critique, class schedule tips, career advice, and so on. I personally find it to be a great opportunity to learn from your mentor's successes as well as mistakes. And on top of that, we also have a Women in ECE event in relationship to mentorship. Shani, would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, so Women in ECE program is to bring together underrepresented community here in ECE department, which is females of all levels, undergrad, grad, professors, and faculties within the ECE department. We usually have few meetups and socials every quarter where we all come together, share casual conversations, and make friends. We also invite female professors and faculty members, as well as graduate students, to share their experiences and advice to the undergraduates, female.
Okay, thank you, Shani. And on top of our mentorship program, we have other opportunities for you to meet new people and expand your network as well. We host events such as DIY Social, where you get to meet people and apply concepts in your classes, such as building light-up circuits, light-up cards with circuits, creating your own Ethernet cables, and Play-Doh circuits. We'll have other board game socials, movie showings, and more. These all provide you with the opportunity to meet other students who you may not only interact with only a few times in your class, or you simply never had the chance to even meet them. So yeah, we want to provide an opportunity for you to network with them. And on top of that, I also want to include our professors. Professors at UCSD are very valuable resources, and we want to provide you with the opportunity to network with them. We have coffee professors where you can sit down to have some quality breakfast or afternoon tea time with your EC faculty, where you can talk to them about classes, research, life in general, anything. Unfortunately, this is not happening this quarter due to COVID-19, but hopefully by the time y'all enter college, it'll be up and running again. Otherwise, we would have to host it virtually and you won't get the free food, but of course, you'll get to talk with your professors. Anyways, as I mentioned earlier, we want to represent your voice at UC San Diego. So we also have town hall, where you can speak directly with our department chair and provide your opinions to him. Some of the hands-on curriculum changes were as a result of students expressing their thoughts at this event. We're also launching EC Confessions, Professor of the Year, and more to help you get involved in the EC department and develop relationships with professors. Some other great opportunities ECUSC offer are a range of project workshops to help you gain hands-on experience, hardware and software experience. We have had Android app development, mini rocket launch, and project management workshops, which are all fantastic projects to gain skills and hopefully become something that you can put on your resume. We also have a series of professional workshops such as resume building, LinkedIn workshop, industry panel, interview tips, and other networking events to help you prepare for future job prospects. I think that's all I have to say for now. Shani, do you have anything else to add?
So if you have any questions, don't forget to visit our website or email us at our email right here, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's all we have to say. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Poe and Shivani. So next, let's move to IEEE.
Okay, hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Dylan Hicks. I'm the current chair of the IEEE student branch at UC San Diego. We also have some other officers here who will be here to answer questions. So if you guys want to introduce yourselves as well, Sarp and Maggie.
Hi, I'm Sarp. I am the social chair, and I'm basically, my job is to entertain people in our org.
I'm Maggie. I'm one of the outreach chairs for IEEE, and most of the outreach events face K-12 students.
Yeah. So that's just a small selection of what our officers do and what we do at UCSD. But just to be kind of short on what we do, we essentially plan to help students all the way from convocation, you know, one of the first weeks that you're here and you're trying to make friends, all the way to graduation, when you're really trying to, you know, get a job, get experience, stuff like that. So just some fun facts about us. If you don't know, IEEE stands for the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. It's kind of a mouthful, and that's why we kind of go with IEEE. It would be kind of weird to say IE or any other acronym like that. Just some other fun facts about us. We are the second largest student branch in the entire US with over 625 members. And we actually won the large student branch of the year this past year for our region. So, you know, we are one of the oldest student organizations at UCSD, and we've reached the success, you know, because of the great students here and because of our really supportive department. So yeah, just IEEE globally, IEEE is actually the largest professional organization in the entire world. There's over 400,000 members. If you guys are going to be doing research in almost any field, if you want to get into essentially anything, you will run into IEEE publications, papers, something like that. So it's always great to get involved, you know, early in school. But here at UCSD, we want to be your family, and we do that mainly through our events and our projects. And we have a lot of different projects and events for essentially everyone of all skill levels. So a lot of the main events that we do have is, of course, our workshops. So we host technical workshops. So if you're trying to learn any basic skills such as Arduino, all the way to advanced skills such as, you know, AI, web development, a whole bunch of stuff like that, we have workshops for you to help get you started. In addition, we have professional and also corporate recruiting events. So of course, trying to get a job, we do recruiting events with companies like Intel, Texas Instruments, a bunch of really big companies. And also, you know, if you're just trying to get to know how to network and things like that, we can provide that too. And also, you know, one thing that SARP does is create social events. You know, we really want to break the stigma of UCSD. I know a lot of you guys, you know, probably reading about the school have heard about UC socially dead. We really don't want that to be true. We want, you know, all of us to be friends and all of us to actually have an enriching experience other than classes here. So yeah, just a lot of the stuff that we do is trying to get stuff outside of the class, and especially that goes with our outreach events as well. Of course, you know, we want to impact our communities, not just here at the university, but also in the communities nearby, and also to inspire the next generation of engineers. So we do a lot of that. But also, I may have talked about projects earlier. We are huge on projects. So of course, if you're trying to get hands-on skills, not just our department provides so much hands-on skills for every student. But if you're trying to just do a simple project to get started, we have a whole bunch of stuff for that. So quarterly projects, of course, it's essentially a quarterly hackathon. If you guys don't know what a hackathon is, it's essentially you get with a team and over this month, you can build essentially any engineering product you want. It's usually based on a theme. It's always great fun. That's actually how I built my first project here at UCSD, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people here built their first project. It's a really great way to get experience. And once you want to step up from that, we do annual projects as well. Of course, focusing on technologies such as AI, mechanical design, embedded design, really everything under the big umbrella that's engineering. So yeah, that's essentially a good scope of what we do. We are also work pretty heavily with our sister organization, Eta Kappa Nu, or HKN, which is the Honor Society of IEEE. So we have a lot of opportunities for every student to, of course, not just get started here at UCSD, but also, flourish, get a job, and have a truly enriching experience here. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for listening. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to go to our Facebook, go to our websites, shoot us an email, even find me on Facebook if you want. I'm open to that as well. Thank you all.
Thanks so much, Dylan, Sarp, and Maggie. So now let's move on to HKN.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Keshav, and I'm an officer of HKN, or Eta Kappa Nu. Dylan already kind of gave us a brief introduction about what HKN is. I'll let Alan also introduce himself.
Hi guys, I'm Alan. I'm a 6th student, 3rd year electrical engineering student, and I'm the social chair for HKN.
So a quick intro onto what we are. We are the official honor society for IEEE. Ever since we became one organization with IEEE sometime in around 2010. We try to build a community on campus and try to supplement everything that's been going around in terms of classes and just the kind of education you get. So we want to kind of provide you with all the necessary resources that you would need to not just be successful on campus, but also once you go out into industry or into the world of academia. So some of the stuff that we do is we host over 90 events, and these range from academic to professional, social, and technical. And we try to provide you with as many networking opportunities as you would need to build yourself in your career. Some of our biggest events are HRE and HNE, which is basically an honors recruitment and career fair. What that means is that if you go to any standard career fair at UC San Diego, you would see lines that go all the way down the street, and wait times for over like half an hour, 45 minutes just to talk to like one recruiter. And we try to kind of mitigate all of this and provide you with a more intimate setting with fewer students. And so you can get more face-to-face time with these recruiters and a better opportunity to kind of get an internship or a full-time job out of university. We also host one of the largest hardware-oriented hackathon with our sister organization, IEEE, which is a 24-hour hall, essentially, where we provide you with a bunch of hardware that you could use to build your own project based on a theme. And it's super fun, and it's held in January, and it's a lot of blast if you can hear Sarp's EDM music playing all the time. Other than that, our social events are pretty awesome too. We do things like barbecue, ice skating, movie nights. It's kind of just a way to kind of build a community at UC San Diego. And our alumni network is kind of key for that because they are very active and they keep wanting to come back to campus and keep wanting to interact with the new students and the new blood. And so they're a great resource to kind of get to know you, to get to know what the world is like. And because they've already been in your shoes before, they kind of where we get all of our experience and all of our advice from So if you have any questions about, oh, how was this class, or how was this professor for this class, I think this administration and the staff gives one perspective, but getting a first-hand experience from the student is another great alternative perspective. We also do a bunch of collaborative events with the likes of ECE USC and ACM. We've actually done coffee hour with them. We've hosted the BSMS workshop with the administration, and just a lot of different things. And we also have a student leadership conference, which we would be hosting at ECE San Diego this year. And I want to let Alan talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so essentially a bunch of other branches of HKN and other honors students are allowed to go to this sort of leadership conference and see firsthand and talk with other students potentially about leadership opportunities, talk to companies, because we're trying to combine it actually potentially with sort of a networking event at our SLC. So you'll be able to talk with companies and talk with other things. And also we have been
Alan, I think you've muted.
Oh, my bad. Am I still muted?
No, I think you're good now.
All right, cool. So we were the outstanding chapter for, I think, 2 years, Keshav? 3?
So 3 years running, but overall 5 to 6 times.
Perfect. Yeah. So we are an amazing chapter at UC San Diego. We definitely have some of the student leaders on campus. We're all just a huge community with each other, and it's just like a family. So that's pretty much from me.
Yeah, and so if you have any more questions about how you can be a part of our organization and or just how to get more involved on campus, I think that's just a great meaningful experience. Feel free to ask us towards the end when the Q&A section happens, or you can reach us on Facebook. We have our handle on our names right there.
Right, like.
Great, thank you so much, Keshav and Alan. So next, let's move on to Project in a Box.
Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm the engineering chair for Project in a Box. I'm just going to share my screen real quick because we have a website and I kind of want to show you a little bit about what we do. So we're org created based off the desire to give students like you a chance to gain hands-on experience and give you that experience you need to get a job in the industry. We hear a lot of stories about how freshmen don't really get internships, and like sophomores, you might get an internship, and juniors, like probably your best shot. But if you're not a junior and you don't really have an internship experience before, it's really hard to get experience. So our org is very project focused. We have 4 different tracks. I think you can see my screen right now. I'm not sure. But anyway, we have the outreach, the engineering, the research, and the student startup tracks. These go from the range of like easy level to like a more advanced level. And so, yeah, we encourage both beginners and experienced people to just join and like get some experience. And I think one of the things that really helped me as a freshman coming into UCSD was being able to lead my own project as a freshman in the outreach track. And because of that, like I had something to put on my resume, I got experience for a technical skill. And yeah, I had something to work off of, and I built myself more confidence to get onto a more difficult project and be able to gather my own team. And so I think what we do is we really encourage students to pitch their own project. We allow any member of our org to create a presentation and have a budget and like a rough schedule of when they expect their project to be completed, what they want to do, and literally anything you want to do, like we'll help fund you for it. Depending on what track you go through, we'll give you a certain budget, but that budget is also like a soft cap. So like if you need more money and you feel like, oh, I just need like another like $50 and then like I can finish this project and this project will be really cool, then we'll definitely like let you do that. And so we have more advanced projects going from like research projects to student startups. The research projects, you get to work with a professor, and the student startups is for if you're actually thinking about starting your own business, then we have things for that too. So we have like 6 active projects happening right now. Next year, some of them may be closed, but some of them may be still open. For example, one of the outreach projects we have is an intro to Python and intro to Java project. They're like an escape room style theme where you like basically solve coding questions and then try to get to an escape room. And some of the engineering projects that we have are more like college level.
Hey, Sophia, just to chime in really quickly, we can't see your screen.
Okay.
So just be aware of that.
Yeah. I figured it might not be showing, so that's why I'm like just talking about it. So the engineering projects are more college level focused. So we have things like the flower classification app, and the research project is like you have to work with a professor. So obviously you don't get to choose what project you do, but because of you're working with the professor, you get to have that networking as well as the that guidance needed. So if you're afraid of like leading your own team because you're not sure, like of course we'll help you get resources, but with a professor, you can definitely get like a definitely get a more academic level experience. So also we recently started a competition, an end of the year competition. It's called the Innovation Challenge. It was supposed to happen in spring, and we had like about 10 teams competing, 10 plus teams competing, but because of the corona, we didn't really get to do that. But we're definitely going to do that for sure next year. It's basically a competition where you can come in with any project. You don't even have to be a part of Project in a Box. If you just have any project that you want to show off, all you have to do is provide documentation for it, and you'll be able to compete and get a prize at the end if you win. So a team, I see a question, do you need to come in with a team for these projects, or is there solo queue as well as trying to find groups? Okay, so we have established project teams. So people who pitch are looking for teammates already. So anyone who pitches can have up to like 5 to 6 people on their team, depending on how much they think they can handle and how much they think they need. And basically after you pitch, everyone who is listening to your pitch can just go on a sheet and then sign up. And then after a certain period of time, we'll be like, okay, you can go contact everyone on your list, and then that's your team, basically. And there aren't really solo groups, but we do have a thing called vetting, which is basically a project that was already completed, documented. All you have to do is follow the instructions, like putting together like an IKEA furniture thing. We have a documentation that pretty much looks like, oh, you've just put pieces together like Legos. And that'll like walk you through step by step, and you can do that on your own. It's basically for people who are coming in with like almost no experience, are not comfortable leading a team, are not comfortable being part of a team. They just want to get some kind of hands-on experience and get a feel for what it means to be engineering. And yeah, you can just like go to a vetting project and just do that on your own time, get that experience, and then you can, if you're comfortable enough to join a team next quarter, then you can do that. Yeah, and that's Project in a Box.
Great, thanks so much, Sophia and Project in a Box. So next we have ACM.
Hi y'all, my name is Emily and I'm a 4th year ECE computer engineering major. I know the diamonds are distracting, so I'm gonna try and turn on my screen. Hopefully it works. Let me know if you can see it, Chelsea. Hold up. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
You can? Okay. Yeah. So I have a quick presentation prepared. So yeah, I'm the founding president of ACM. And if you're curious what ACM is, it stands for the Association for Computing Machinery. Much like IEEE and HKN, we're also an international society, but the primary difference is that we're focused solely on computers. Internationally, there's over 100,000 members, and on campus, we have over 1,000 members. Of those 1,000 members, we're pretty well-versed in a bunch of different areas. We consist of developers, designers, engineers, hackers, managers, analysts. We have some startup owners. And so, yeah, we're a pretty big community. And we actually are only about a year old. And the way we got so big was just because this was built from the passion of students. That's, yeah, pretty much a bunch of students just poured their heart and soul into building this organization. And as for what we actually do at UCSD, we host events and we also sponsor projects. On the event side, we hosted over 100 events this school year. And on the project side, we're managing a few teams. These teams are complete with designers, engineers, project managers, who don't just hash out projects, but they also conduct case studies. They follow agile methodology. They write design documentation. They conduct code review. And overall, they work in a manner pretty similar to what you'd find at a company. We're still working out on fleshing our project system to make it open to more people next year. And so I'm mainly going to talk about our events for now. So we love our events. And so we host over 40 events a quarter. There's bonfires, there's game nights. We do in and out runs. We do hikes, a lot of hikes. And we even like do meetups in Animal Crossing since we're all kind of quarantined right now. We also drink a lot of boba, to the point where we made an official ACM SoCal Boba tier list, which you can view at acmurl.com/boba. And yeah, besides that, one of our cool programs is our Bit Byte program, which is a big little program. It's kind of similar to a mentor-mentee program, but bits and bytes usually end up more like siblings rather than mentors. To give you some examples of what bits and bytes typically do. Oh yeah, this is from our reveal. We called it allocation because we're nerds and we didn't want to just call it big little reveal. We wanted to call it bit byte allocation. So yeah, some bits and bytes they cook together. On the left, 1 byte, Eric, he's actually the QP chair for IEEE. He actually bought like $100-something worth of fruit just so that he can invite a bunch of bits over to make crepes. And then on the right, you could see there's a bit and a byte who made Pop and Cooking together, which is like toy candy rather than, it's like candy cooking rather than real cooking. They actually went through every single set in existence last quarter. Some other things that bits and bytes do together, they go on hikes, and then they make plenty of memes together. Like we actually have so many memes. We have a separate meme page on Facebook. We also make a lot of TikToks together. And lately, everyone's been doing the spicy noodle challenge since we're all quarantined. And so you're probably like, oh, that sounds a lot of fun, but where's the engineering in our org? And so here it is. So one big perk about being part of an international society is much like IEEE and HKN, we get to go to a bunch of conferences. So yeah, conferences are a great way for us to explore different topic areas such as open source or automated software engineering. And they're also a great way to expand your network. Besides that, we also host company talks. This is actually from our fall panel that took place with Google. And then besides that, we host plenty of workshops. To give you an idea of how many workshops we host, here's just a list of some of the technologies that we taught over the past few months. And yeah, one other cool thing about ACM. Well, first off, you're probably wondering, if your organization consists of over 1,000 members, how am I supposed to stand out? And also, how are you going to hit all the technical areas that I want to focus on? Just because we're all so broad. And so this is something cool that we've been spending the past year putting together. And this is actually the first place where I'm announcing it. And that's that in ACM, we're actually starting 6 communities next year. And so a brief rundown through our communities. Next year, ACM Design, this is going to be the place if you want to go to learn computer-human interaction or UI UX. Internationally, ACM is one of the largest design societies in the world. And so when it comes to engineering, we take a design-first approach in everything we do. ACM Graphics is where you'll go to learn computer graphics technologies. So just think like graphics engines or CGI, the technology that powers your favorite games, movies, and every pixel you see on a computer screen. ACM Hack is where you'll go to be a better developer. So this is our standard software engineering organization. So you can come here to learn new languages, you can come here to discover new tools, and you come here to find people to compete with in hackathons. We'll also be hosting some hackathons next year as well. And then ACM Cyber is our cybersecurity organization. So this is where if you really want to hack, so they host a ton of workshops to teach you how to hack. But besides that, they also go to a lot of conferences and compete in capture the flag competitions. ACM AI is where you'll go to learn machine learning, as well as compete in AI competitions. One of our developers, Stone, he actually just released his first version of an incredibly robust open source universal AI competition platform. He developed it all by himself in TypeScript, unit tests, and everything. And so we'll be using that throughout next year. And then finally, ACM Innovate is where you're going to learn about entrepreneurship and innovation. The whole org is founded by a few startup CEOs. So it's a good place to go if you ever want to start your own company. And so, yeah, ACM is going to be comprised of 6 organizations next year. But at the end of the day, we're put together into one tight-knit family. And then finally, if you want to learn more about ACM, just visit our website at acmucsd.com. And then we have 40 events this quarter that are open to everyone, including future UCSD students. Everything is taking place virtually. So as long as you follow us on social media, you should have access to pretty much everything. We actually are celebrating a workshop week this week. So we have workshops throughout the week for you to learn different technologies. And all the workshops are taking place on our custom built platform, ACM Live, which you can go view at live.acmucsd.com. And then finally, as for tonight, so ACM Cyber was actually, it's our cybersecurity sub-org. It was actually founded as a merger between ACM and the official cybersecurity group at UCSD. And they're actually hosting a workshop on Capture the Flag today at 6 p.m. You can go to the link acmurl.com/cyber to just catch the workshop. And that's pretty much it. Here's all our social media. And then there's some more as well if you just go to acmurl.com/links. And that's it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Emily. That was great. And special shout out to the filter on your cheeks. I'm a big fan. So next, let's move on to Nick, who's actually on our ECE staff. He's the Project Development and Outreach Coordinator.
Let me get myself on. All right, as Chelsea said, I work with the ECE department. I am the Project Development and Outreach Coordinator. I'm also ECE alumni and Project in a Box alumni. And as such, I am also the PIB staff advisor. So I help Project in a Box with a lot of things, mainly outreach. So when I say outreach, I mean K through 12 and also community college projects and events. Sophia already did a great rundown of Project in a Box. Basically what Project in a Box is a great way to improve your technical skills through project building. Now that sounds awesome to you, but you're not quite sure if you're ready to join a team. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to join a team right away. You can just simply join the organization. For example, join our outreach committee, which you will help out with all the outreach events. Maybe during that time, we'll give you some ideas to where you can actually build your own project, come up with your own project, or maybe someone else will start a project that piques your interest. Another thing you can do, you can also attend our technical workshops and eventually help out at those technical workshops. Since Sophia already did a pretty good job of explaining Project in a Box, I want to actually just show off some of the outreach projects that the students have made within Project in a Box. I have some with me right now. So let me go ahead and switch my camera. So I'm going to show you all the different type of styles of projects. So here's a little younger demographics. So maybe kindergarten to first grade, little bug bot made from breadboard. And then we go into our middle school and high school projects. So here's one of our flagship projects for our outreach. It's called the Lorabot, and it's a bipedal robot powered by Arduino. And you can program it to do all kinds of things. You learn about sensors, you learn about sound processing, you learn about robotics. And Sophia also mentioned the documentation. So we pride ourselves in documentation too. So here's that IKEA style documentation that she was talking about before. All really easy, laid out, and crisp images to where you can actually build the projects. Another one is the color bot. So this one will teach students about coding as well as sensors, in particular color sensors. So stick a blue item in there and he glows blue. And then another one of our coding projects is the Magic 8 Cube. So again, teaches about coding and sensors. The sensor for this one is actually a vibration sensor. Shake it up, you get a little answer on this the OLED display. And then along with doing K through 12 outreach, we also help build projects for college level. In particular, our ECE 196 class. So right here, I'm going to take my camera over and show you one of those projects. So here's a really old 196 project. It's our arcade cabinet. And this is, as I said before, one of our older projects. So students will build this in the first half of the quarter, and they get to learn about Raspberry Pi and also get to brush up on Canon skills with Inkscape or SolidWorks or whatnot. Along with college level projects and K through 12, we also do all kinds of mini projects, for example, for like social events. So this is all used for our social events, which most people are invited to. We don't necessarily need to be a part of the organization. Right. So the best way to get more information about PIB is probably the website. The website is pibucsd.org. And that's it for me.
Great, thank you so much, Nick. So that's the end of all of our student org info session showcase. So at this time, we'll move into our Q&A. Juliet, do you have any questions for the students to answer?
Yeah, there was one in the chat, and it was how much time commitment would some of these student orgs that you guys have been going over require? Or does it depend on the projects that you choose to take?
Okay, so I can answer this one because I already answered this one in the chat. I didn't realize I wasn't supposed to, so that's my bad. But as for the amount of commitment that you need to put in for a student org, really it depends on you. For most of our orgs events, you can show up to any event you'd like and you can leave having gained something. And if you really don't want to, you don't have to return for another event. So it's just a few hours of your time. If you want to commit yourself to a project, that's going to be a much longer term commitment. I know IEEE's projects, for example, are quarter long. They can speak more about that, 8 weeks long. Some orgs have annual projects. I think some of PIB's projects actually last for much, much longer. And so it really just depends on the types of projects you sign up for and the complexity of them. Okay.
Yeah, I could talk a little bit about that. So for IEEE, essentially, really the amount that you put into it is the amount that you get out of it. That's usually what I say to people. So you can go ahead and put in, say, 1 to 2 hours a week, but when it comes down to it, you're not really learning much doing that. Just like a class, you really want to put in a good amount of time into it so that you can learn something and have something at the end of it that you could say that you're proud of doing. And the same thing with projects for any student organization is that, you have to commit time to it. I usually recommend, 10 hours a week. That's a pretty good amount. We've seen a lot of people in quarterly projects, they kind of just put it off until the very end and then they overload themselves with those 10 hours per 8 weeks in 2 days, which is impossible. So yeah, I recommend stay consistent, work on it, a relatively good amount each week, about 10 hours. Even less than that is certainly fine.
Okay, so the next question is, do professors work closely with the orgs, and do you get to build a relationship with them?
So I think I can answer that question. Over my experience with being involved in Eta Kappa Nu, I think I got to know a lot of the faculty very, very well, especially the likes of Professor Nguyen and Professor Lin and Professor Kumar. They're kind of like our faculty advisors and just people who help out a lot with all student orgs in general. Also through events like coffee hour and the starting of the coffee hour, which the ECE department holds, you get to meet a lot of the faculty and a lot of professors there. And just a great way to kind of bond with them over there. If you do become student leadership, you also get invited to events like the ECE retreat, which happened last year, which was a way for all of us to kind of present our organization to the faculty so that they could get to know what we do. And that really helped them understand how to better help student orgs and how we could help the faculty through extracurricular activities and such. There's also another student organization called SPE, where actually one of the key members is a faculty, and Professor Sahar actually helps run a lot of the events and stuff like that. So you do get like a lot of interaction with faculty and professors through the student orgs.
Thank you. Oh.
Yeah, I can also answer for Project in the Box. So we have a lot of like events, especially social events, that we invite everyone to, not just our org students, but not just our org students, but also faculty and staff in the ECE department, and other departments also in like engineering, like mechanical. But we do also, like outside of social events, we do also hook you up with faculty who may be able to help you with your project. So if you feel like you're like struggling, trying to find like someone who has experience in what you're doing, we know the professors and the faculty who might be able to help you. And so we'll reach out to them for you and you'll be able to like connect with them that way. I think other orgs also, like for things like their more professional events, competitions, they also invite a lot of faculty to like help judge. And that way, like you can also get a feel for like, oh, like these are professors that I've seen in my classes or seen like around school. And like you have the opportunity to like go after the event to talk to them and just like get feedback from them and also just to network with them.
Thank you. So this was mentioned a little bit before, but what's a good way to become a part of like the leadership board of an org?
Can I take this one? So I think, for me at least, the way I got involved with IEEE is I kind of just, well, I think met one of them at some point and then just kept look, I kept hanging out in the IEEE room and I kept spending time with them. And I just basically like became friends with them. Like they need to know you for you to get a leadership position. You need to be involved in the org. You can't just come out of nowhere and try to be a leader, try to get a leadership position. So you have to make yourself known to people and like spend time with them, spend time with the org, attend events, attend workshops, attend projects, and then you'll have a pretty good chance.
I actually want to just add a little bit to that, just real quick. So I think that's true not just for student orgs, that's true for everything in general. Because I think the way I started getting involved in the ECE department was by first following Professor Nguyen around and just asking him about the SRIP program and just trying to get to know like how to get more involved and stuff. And I think that left an impression on him. So what Sarp said is true to not just for student orgs, it's true for everything else. Like the more you go out, the more you do things, the more you talk to people, the more you meet people, the more they start to recognize you and the more they rely on you for things and events and such.
Also, if you're like wondering how to actually learn how to organize events and stuff, most of our student organization have shadowing program. So that way you can actually shadow an officer and get to know what they do in their position. And that's also another way to get more involved with each of the organization.
Thank you. And then similarly, last question, is there any sort of mentorship program that students can join? And will it help get an internship or a job or just experience?
So ECE USC has a mentorship program where we connect freshmen or first year, second year transfer students with an upperclassmen where they get to learn more about how to apply for internships or how to network and how to get to how to talk to people in career fairs, stuff like that, as well as how to build your resume, how to make your professional profiles like LinkedIn. And we also have experts in the industry who come and give their feedback on like your LinkedIn profiles. And we have professional workshop where we teach you how to talk to these professionals in career fair or how to reach out to them through LinkedIn. And so yeah, so you can join the mentorship program and you can learn about all this stuff.
Yeah, I'd just like to add to that. So I think all the orgs have their own mentorship programs, but besides that, most of our events are also like a lot of the orgs have events with grad students, and they are a great resource to sort of meet people and like maybe not necessarily have a mentorship program, but like use them as mentors. Like I met a alumni named Lucas, and now he's a master's student, and he sort of got me involved in HKN with Keshav, and I sort of like loved the program because of the grad students and the alumni. And professors like Andrew you see at events at our like Regents Pizzeria event provide great resources, and like they can help you with your resume, they can help you just if you want to talk about anything about your career. So you don't necessarily need a mentorship program, but they are all in place in our respective orgs.
I'd like to just add a little bit to that as well. Hi, everyone. My name is Charmaine. I'm the Director of Student Affairs in the ECE department. And, you know, just to add to what all of our student org leaders have been saying, there are a lot of different ways to get that mentorship experience. You don't necessarily need a formal mentor who's been, you know, like assigned to you. We have all of these great opportunities that people have been talking about. I think within each student org, there is a mentorship component. But beyond that, you know, I think just the broader way of networking, just kind of all the time, is available to you in many different ways within the department. So, you know, for every single class that you take, the professor will have office hours, and you can take advantage of those office hours to get to know your professor better. And who knows if that might lead to an opportunity to do research with that person. TAs also have office hours, so you can get to know your TAs better, and they can connect you with opportunities, you know, within student orgs or elsewhere. You know, they'll tell you about the internships maybe that they've done. There are also other opportunities within the School of Engineering. For instance, we have a corporate affiliates program through the Dean's office. And there are a lot of work internship or, you know, summer job opportunities that are available through that program. And, you know, even broader than that, on campus, we have the Career Services Center, and they do a lot, they put on a lot of events that will connect students with potential employers and, you know, networking in that sense as well. So there's a lot going on, a lot within our department and within our student orgs, and also a lot beyond that as well. So lots of opportunities there.
Great, thank you so much. So I do have some other questions as well. How likely is it to have an internship after your first year of college?
Okay, so I'll take this question. First off, I want to like alleviate any concerns about needing an internship after your first year of college, just because I feel like a lot of first years I met this year go into college thinking that's all about internships. And to me, it really shouldn't be. In my case, I actually didn't know the internships were a thing that people did until my second year. So I did nothing my first year of summer. I just played video games all day, right? And even though I didn't have an internship my first year, I was still able to end up with a pretty good big end internship before college. I actually interned at Google just for reference, and I'm actually returning there this summer as well. And so it's okay to not have an internship. It's okay to not freak out about it. that being said, it's definitely possible to have an internship. One of the first years I mentor, actually yesterday he messaged me and he told me that he finally secured his summer internship, right? The thing is that he had been at it since August. So it's definitely possible to get an internship. It's just really hard to. If you want to maximize your chances of getting an internship, I have a few pieces of advice. First off, look towards doing a few projects before you start sending your resume out as much as possible. And then look towards first year and second year specific programs. So if you look up Amazon Future Engineer, Facebook University, I think Twitter Academy, Twitter Early Bird, Google Step, Microsoft Explore, all of the companies, Dropbox Launch, Pinterest, there's a lot of companies out there who just have a lot of first, second year focused programs. Look towards those programs. And then besides that, work on building your resume in other ways. Join student orgs, build projects, and understand that if at the end of the day, you're not able to get an internship, it's completely okay. Your summer could be very well spent building projects to prepare you later on. So, yeah.
Great, thank you. So another question is there time for non-engineering electives within the 4 or 5 years you spend at UC San Diego?
Okay, I could take this one. Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of time. I think especially as an ECE student or really any student, you have a lot of electives where you could take classes that aren't strictly within the discipline of your major. For example, most of my studies typically focus on machine learning, and for a lot of my upper division electives, I chose to actually take math classes. Those aren't required at all for the major, but I thought it would be really helpful for actually doing a lot of the stuff that you do, as a machine learning scientist. In addition, there's a lot of humanities classes that I think are super important towards every student actually graduating UCSD, with a pretty holistic education. For example, writing classes. I know as engineers, most people really hate writing, but I think writing is really important to a lot of students. And I actually really enjoyed my writing classes. It really helps with things such as documentation. If you're doing research, it's super important for research papers. And I think that, any chance you can get in any school, or in any college, you could easily take those courses. Like Warren, I know your area studies, you can choose to take a whole range of different electives, and I know a lot of other colleges are the same.
Great, thank you. So the next question is, will I spend all my time studying?
Actually, I can take that question. So that is not true. It all boils down to how you manage your time and how you kind of pace yourself. Start small, start slow. I think start adding small things to your plate, and that way you don't get overloaded a whole lot. And over the 4 years of time, I think Professor Nguyen can also talk about this a little more, but I was able to not just do 4 or 5 classes every quarter. I was also able to do research. I was able to do HKN stuff, and I was able to help out with the department stuff. So you don't have to be stuck in your room with your face on a book all day long. It all boils down to like how you manage your time over things, and definitely make time for friends and make time for social events, because that's kind of where you will be able to release all of your stress, and you'll be able to kind of go out and explore and learn new things and get new perspectives and get a whole new diversity of thought.
Great, thank you so much, Keshav. So another question is it feasible to have a minor, and can I minor in another engineering department?
So I think I can also talk about this. I started with a music minor my freshman year, but the reason I wasn't able to finish my music minor was because I kind of deviated away from it and started focusing a lot on CS classes to kind of supplement my robotics interests. But I felt that if I wasn't focused on the CSE classes, I could definitely take and finish the music minor. I was only like 3 or 4 classes shy of finishing it, but it kind of like just switched interests, and that's kind of why I went away from music. But I definitely feel that if you are, again, able to manage your time and manage your 4-year plans, and I think we have a lot of resources available on campus to help you manage your 4-year plans, you should definitely be able to take a minor or two with your ECE degree.
Can I add something to that? So I think it's very possible, like it's very doable to do a minor with an ECE degree, but I think it also kind of depends on your specific circumstances. So for example, if you're in a college that has more GEs than others, or for example, you're an international student, and you came in with 0 credits, then you are gonna have to do more classes than everyone else just for finishing your major. So that's something to keep in mind. So if you try to do a minor, that might end up being 5 classes every quarter until you graduate, because you have to take more classes than the average ECE student. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Can I add on? Am I muted? Okay, so I also have a minor. I'm a design minor. And so one huge piece of advice I can give you when it comes to looking for a minor is you can actually fit in a minor that overlaps pretty well with both your major and your GEs. So one reason why I'm a design minor is a lot of the classes I have to take to fulfill my minor, they actually count towards my CSE electives and technical electives as well. And they also count towards my Warren area studies. And so you can actually squeeze in minors sometimes just because you're gonna take those classes anyways, and it might just be an additional 2 or 3 classes. And you'll find that a lot of majors definitely overlap. Just because you're an ECE major does not just mean you're gonna take ECE classes. Just because you're a CSE major does not just mean you're gonna take CSE classes. You're gonna be able to take classes all over the place. And because of that, maybe you can just add a minor from somewhere else.
I think Maida has something to say to that.
So you can definitely minor. There are minors like econ where you can take all classes, pass, no pass. Generally, UCESD allows 2 operative courses to overlap. So we have a lot of students who minor in econ because you can take at least 3 of them, pass, no pass. And I think the last question was if they can minor in another engineering program. So Jacob School doesn't allow engineering students to minor or double major in another engineering program.
Thank you so much. That was Maida. She's one of our undergraduate academic advisors. Thank you, Maida. I do have a couple more questions. Hopefully these will be a little easier to answer. How often do you go to the beach, and is it easy to get there from campus?
Okay, I used to go to the beach 4 to 5 times a week because I used to run there every day. But it is not easy to get there from campus. It's actually really difficult. Okay, when you're advertised that this school is on the beach, technically we do have a beach on school, but it's really, really hard to get to. Either one, you like take the bus down to the beach, which will take like 10 minutes, or you walk off a cliff. Those are like your 2 options. There's a stairs going down the cliff. So it's actually not like straight off the cliff. It's doable, but it's kind of difficult, but it's definitely doable. I went to the beach pretty often my first year.
If you have a bike, it's a pretty fun ride down, and you can just take the bus up.
Honestly, if you like walking, it's not too hard to get to the beach from campus. There's like the Scripps Coastal Reserve that's near Revelle College. You can just like walk down there. And then there's Black's Beach, which is like really close to like ERC, like Marshall area. I used to go to the beach like all the time. I think I still go like every now and then, but because I have friends with the car, it's like I don't have to walk there anymore.
Just to add to all of that, I too also walk to the beach during my lunch break, so it is very doable, and you can get to the beach and back within an hour. My last question is how feasible is it to commute around San Diego if you don't have a car?
So I think mostly our school has free bus passes that can basically take you to a lot of places on San Diego. And also our school has a grocery shuttle that runs on Saturdays that goes to Labs and Ranch Markets, Balboa and Convoy, which has a lot of Asian restaurants and places. So that perspective, it's pretty easy.
So Maggie mentioned that we have bus passes that can take you around San Diego, which is amazing because you can go to like a lot of the places around La Jolla, but San Diego's bus system is just horrible, and that it takes you like an hour and a half to 2 hours to go to places that would be like a 20-minute drive. So if you want to get to downtown, you're gonna have to Uber there, or you're gonna have to wait like 2 hours.
The best bet is to become a member of any of the student orgs, and their leaders most likely have cars who go every weekend to get boba or to get food. And that's kind of why we're all laughing, because we know what's up. So join an org, and then it's easy to go around San Diego.
Yeah.
You
go first. I'll go first. Okay. So yeah, if you want to know, like, first off, adding to what Keshav says, I drive first years on a daily basis, like 3-4 times a day actually. So I actually get like 2,000 miles in my car every single month. And so that's actually a really good way of getting around, just befriend an upperclassman who has a car. But besides that, I will admit that, like Sharp says, the bus system kind of sucks, but it's actually going to improve quite a lot because the school is working on building a trolley that goes from campus to downtown. And that should happen within a year, I think, of you all starting off at UCSD. And so that should help out a lot. Our school is making a lot of new efforts in order to improve transportation just because they know that San Diego's infrastructure isn't quite there.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing. The tram system is going to be a big game changer to pretty much go anywhere. And me as well, I was pretty much the official shuttle for IEEE this year, so try to find an upperclassman with a car.
Also, bonus, by finding an upperclassman with a car, you witness a lot of shenanigans.
Keshav and Sharp, no.
Yeah. So staff is also looking forward to the extension of the trolley to go to campus for commute reasons. So hopefully that'll be up and running soon. Before we end, I just want to share with you that ECE is on social media, and we would love for all of you to connect with us. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quickly and show all of you our different social media outlets. Okay, let me make sure I go to the right one. Okay, here. So we are on Facebook. We have a Facebook page here. And you can watch the video I tried to play earlier here right on our cover screen. So our Facebook page is here. We are on Instagram. So please feel free to follow us. Our stories are pretty fun, if I do say so myself. And we have a lot of great content there. We're also on LinkedIn. You can join our page there. And lastly, we do have a YouTube channel. So please subscribe to our channel. And we have a lot of great highlight videos of all the past events that we've done. We do have a series called The Collective, where we interview various people within our ECE community to get to know their ECE story and more about them and why they love ECE and all of that. Before we end, I'd like to ask all of our students if they could share one piece of advice to get them ready for the fall. So we can go in order of how we presented. So USC, IEEE, HKN, PIB, ACM.
Okay, so I can go first. I'm currently taking EC 140 AMB, and it's product engineering. One of our professor, he really likes to emphasize in business what is the job to be done. And he asked us a question once, why did you hire UCSD to give you this education? And I think this is a good way to think about how you want, what you want to get out of UCSD is to come in, explore, go to all these events, workshops, to really know what your purpose is. What do you want out of your 4-year or maybe 5-year of college experience? And I think that can really help you enrich what you do here and have a really fun time of your life.
I would just say get involved, get to know all these student organization, and just go to events. You get to learn a lot, and you get to network with lots of people, and they're gonna be your family for 4 years. So yeah, just don't be shy. Attend all these events. Everyone is really friendly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say one bit of advice I do have is just get out there. You're really gaining nothing sitting in your dorm and playing video games all day. That's basically what I did my freshman year, and it was a waste of a year. Don't waste a year. Really, just, I mean, I think you guys are going to hear from your professors a lot, like start early, start often, and that really goes with anything, you know, in terms of making friends, you know, joining student organizations, really anything that you want to do in college. Make sure to just start.
Again, basically reiterating what Dylan and Shivani already said. Not necessarily for the engineering organizations, maybe you don't want to join engineering organizations, but there is like, I think 200-300 different student organizations on campus. So there is most likely one that will fit your needs, or if not, you can just start your own like Emily did and join a student organization, and it will make so much difference in your college career. Like both of my roommates hate their lives at UCSD because they just don't do anything, and they just sit inside and study all day and don't join any orgs, even though I've tried to get them involved multiple times. Join a student org. And also, while I have the chance, ECE Instagram account is the best Instagram account in UCSD.
Making me blush. Thank you.
So I think at UCSD, especially as an engineering major, classes and GPA can be very stressful, but please also take the time to get to know the people around you, because life's gonna be stressful. You will need to have friends who are you're gonna carry each other through some hard times. And also the friends around me are some of the greatest sources for me for learning as well, because I was able to communicate with some of my CS friends for coding, for technologies, and other major friends for advice, like just academically. So it's been great. Just make connections, meet people out there, and it's gonna be really good.
So one thing that I did as a freshman was just walk up to different tables. If there was a space open, ask if I could sit down and just start up a conversation with the person sitting in front of me. I think this is something I shared in common with our president, Jiling. And you get to hear so many stories and learn so much about different people that it really helps in broadening your horizons. And that's kind of why I also once just walked into the EC administration offices and just started talking with Julie, who's not here, and then Stephanie. And that's kind of how I got to know the people around me. And just the more you get out there, the more it is that you make out of your experience at UC San Diego.
I would say for me, just pouring your heart and soul into like whatever you're doing. Like if it's work, if it's your student org, if it's making friends, just like make sure you put your all into it so that you get the most out of it. Because I don't think it really, like, obviously it matters what you're doing, but as long as you're dedicating everything that you have to something, you'll get something out of it.
Yeah, so I think your freshman year is probably going to be the best year for you to just go out, meet people, and try everything. Because after your freshman year, like the magic just kind of dies, you know? Like you don't feel that enthusiastic about school. You don't feel that enthusiastic about classes. You're like, oh, I don't want to socialize. I don't want to talk to people. Like freshman year, if you have any time to break your antisocialness, like this is the time. And then after that, once you make all your friends, you don't have to be super social anymore, because those friends will get you their friends and their friends and their friends. And then you just have a whole circle. So this is your chance. Like freshman year is the best time.
And I 100% agree with pretty much everything that's been said. Just make a lot of friends and meet as much people as you can. What I always tell first years is that you have your entire life to keep learning. And all the technologies that people use in industry are going to change dramatically. So you're going to have to keep learning whether you like it or not, right? You have all this opportunity to find new jobs, right? But only once in your life will you be in an environment where there's 40,000 people in this small, tiny like space, right? And so you're never going to have this opportunity to meet as many people as you can right now. And so really take advantage of that and put yourself out there as much as you can. Yeah.
One thing to add on to what everyone else is saying, look up for free food events. That's where most people go, and you don't have to pay for food. Even if it is pizza 90% of the times, it's free food. And that's where most people show up. So go to those events and you get to meet a lot of people there.
Great. Thank you so much to our student orgs and our staff for being here. And thanks to everyone who tuned in, all of our incoming students. We hope to see you in the fall. If you have any more questions, please connect with ECE, all of the student orgs. Please feel free to continue the conversations in the comment sections on our Facebook live stream. And we hope to see you in the fall. Thank you for joining, everyone.
Thank you.